Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Drathan, aka The Blind Tank, and this is Dre's Corner, episode number 14. I want to say thank you very much for everybody for coming out. Got a lot of different stuff I want to talk about, and let's get this thing started. First and foremost, this week was the Q&A for Legion, talking about the World Quest and also what is going to be happening on the Legion Invasion. Let's do Legion Invasion really quick. Since 7.0.03 has dropped, what they're basically doing, and here's what they had said, is they're going to wait for like a week, maybe two, to make sure that the servers are stable, everything is okay. Everybody's kind of understanding the new flow of their specs and everything like that. Once they're satisfied with that, then they're going to break the servers again because, well, they're going to unleash the Legion upon us. Not my words, theirs. Again, Lore hosted this with Jeremy Fersel. Please excuse me if I screwed that name up. He's the game designer for the World Quest and stuff like that. So let's get into what they talked about, especially with a lot of the World Quest. Now, one of the first question that was asked, will the World Quest be updating throughout the different patches of Legion? Really quick, yes. Basically what they're going to do is they're going to keep an eye on the different world quests that are getting really stale or people are tired of it, and they'll retire that one, and in the new patch they'll add another one. Now, one of the really cool things about the World Quest, and you can only do World Quest when you're at max level, and World Quest basically has this type of feature, the 3, 6, and 1 week, 3 hour, 6 hour, and week long. The 3 and 6 are always revamping itself, so you can as you get your World Quest done, you got everything done, you go, okay, I've got some stuff I can do. What's out there to do because I've finished my World Quest? Oh, nay. Every 3 hours, there's going to be, I forget exactly what they're called. Sorry, guys. Different quests are going to reset at 3 or 6 hours. Now, some of these are going to have the ability to filter. If you don't have any UIs or any add-ons or anything like that, Blizzard has already made a filter of, okay, do you want to just do PvP, or do you just want to do stuff for artifact power or just dungeons, that type of thing. You can filter it by that way. If you're a pet battler, you can filter out nothing but pet battles, that type of thing. Which is sounding really good, and is also going with the theme of the entire theme of Legion. Do what you want to do, what you think that is going to be more fun for you. Now, there's going to be every day there's going to be an emissary quest. So I'm going to give the example that Blizzard gave. Stormheim goes and says, a representative from Stormheim comes to you and says, "Hey, we need your help in Stormheim. We've got all kinds of problems going on. We need your help." That's where you're going to get the biggest rewards every day, for gear, for artifact power, for artifact knowledge. That whole entire thing, that's going to be your big thing. And then you have the other quests that are going to be happening, like with your world bosses, your rare bosses, that type of thing. Now, there's also going to be a catch-up thing. So somebody like me who plays all the time and is going to be streaming a lot of this stuff. This won't be for me. However, I'm going to use Nam as an example again. Nam, works a lot, and she's starting to come into the part of her job, the season in her job, that the hours are start piling up. She doesn't want to play World of Warcraft because she's just too damn tired. However, there's a catch-up thing. So, the big emissary quests, the other, world quests that are out there, say she can't play for 3 days. There's going to be that catch-up that where I'm doing I'm doing the different stuff and keeping it up. Nam will have the emissary quest, then she'll have, the different types of quests that have like 2 or 3 extras on them. And each one of them has that catch up, so she can go and say, okay, I've got this to do and this to do, and I got this to catch up with. And it's really good. I mean, not only is Blizzard thinking about, the people that are playing all the time, but they're also thinking about the casual players and the people that are not always plugged in. I gotta say big kudos to that. Because in the last couple of expansions, it was like, if I don't get on today and do my chores, I'm going to fall behind. You don't have to feel like that in Legion whatsoever. And again, like I said, I got to give, Blizzard huge kudos on this. I mean, they're sticking completely to this. One of the other things that was asked is, okay, I'm going to give another example. Nam and I decided we're going to quest together. We want to do the dailies and stuff like that. And her and I and another friend of ours, we get together and it's like, okay, let's do the world quest. We do up the world quest. We decide what we're going to do. Now, in other expansions, each different part of the dailies, some of them had gates. So Nam and I at different times wouldn't be able to do those dailies together. In Legion, we can do everything together, and it doesn't matter what my power is, or what her power is, or what her eye level is, or my eye level is. We don't have to worry about, I'm not getting anything for helping her out, and she's getting completely blown away from because the bosses and the ads and everything else is just so overpowered because I'm with her. Nay. Now, one of the things is loot drops are going to be, because it's a personal loot drop, it's going to go to the eye level that you have. I'll give you an example. I've got in, I think in beta, I think I was like, my orc was like, I want to say 26. Now, if I was running with Nam like that, and say she was barely 805, she would have gear that would drop for her that was 805 and higher. Where with me, it would be 826 or higher. I wouldn't have to worry about, I'm getting crap, I'm not getting any, good stuff. Which is a really good thing. It brings the community back together. It's one of the biggest things that we as players and we as a community have been complaining about, is that it's like, we have to, we're going out there, we're not really, running with a bunch of people. This is an MMO. We do that. It's multiplayer. Let's get back to multiplayer. Let's get back to being social. And this is allowing everybody to play with everybody. And for those of us who have better halves, it's a really good thing, because Nam and I, have this philosophy of, if we play together, we stay together. Because we have the same type of hobby, and that's what we call World of Warcraft. It's our hobby that we can do together. If we want to do demon hunters or anything like that, we can run together, and it doesn't matter, what level I am, what eye level I am, or anything like that. It's balanced between the two of us. I mean, they've done a really good job of this. I've seen it on beta, and I can't wait to see this on live. Now, one of the other things that is going to be going on, and I'll talk a little bit more about this too, is the world PvP. Say you don't want to get into PvP or world PvP, you don't have to. However, if you do want to get into it, let's talk about it now. I'm going to bring in world PvP and a question that was came up with Gilneas and what's going to be going on there. Now, they didn't make Jeremy did not go and give any spoilers or anything like that. Basically, what he had said when this question was asked is, there is huge tension between Sylvanas and Greymane. And he's like, and both of them kind of laughed. It's like, I don't understand why they would. No, nobody would understand exactly why. But basically, these two are going to be pitted against one another. And how they're going to do it in the world PvP is, there is these Guardian Towers. The Night Elf Guardian Towers basically had these towers that they watched over the prisons and the different stuff that was going on in the Broken Isles for, watching over Sargeras's avatar's body, all that type of thing. And with everything that is going on with the Broken Isles and the Demon Hunters and, the Demon Invasion and Sargeras's body being used as a portal bringing the Legion, the towers have basically gone and been left alone. Well, what's going to be happening is that Greymane and Sylvanas see these towers, see them as, a point where they can hold the line while they're doing other things and not worry about somebody stabbing them in the back, the alliance taking over. This is the world PvP. Now, those of you who have who have played in BC, this is kind of the same thing, but what I'm understanding is a lot better. In Hellfire Peninsula, there were 3 areas where the Horde and the Alliance went after each other to get different types of spots. this is going to be the same thing. However, when you get into this, to participate with it, you're going to be told, hey, to get into this, you're going to have to turn yourself PvP. Yes or no if you want to do it. You say yes. Now, here's the thing. You're going and, trying to get this tower back. You have to keep an eye out for that nasty little rogue that's coming, that's going and saying, hey, I'm going to get you. And, so you'll have that challenge. I see a lot of good things, especially with the PvP guilds, where they go in and they get all these, they fight over all these different towers. It'll make for some really good world PvP. And basically, for those of you who have played in Burning Crusade and have seen this before in Hellfire Peninsula, and also in one of the other areas, it makes for a lot of camaraderie. It also makes for a lot of unity between the Horde, with the Horde, and also with the Alliance, and that constant fight between which there has been a lot of that missing. Battlegrounds and raided is a good thing for PvP. However, that world PvP that a lot of people have been missing, especially me, they're going to be bringing it back, and they're going to be bringing it back through these towers that are throughout the Broken Isles. And I think it's a really good thing. I think Blizzard did a really good job of thinking about this. So it's one of the things that, again, kudos to you guys on this, Blizzard. Cannot say enough. And again, one of the biggest, before I end this, one of the biggest things that they have talked about through all these Q&As, the announcement for Legion and everything that has been going on, Blizzard has gone and said, we want you to play the way you want to play. Now, that's not meaning that they want you to be an asshat. They want the social aspect back in the game. They want PvP back in the game. They want people who go and say, I want to do PvP. I want to do some raiding, but I don't want to do LFR. I want to really get into raiding and understand, what this whole big thing about raiding is, or what this whole thing is about PvP and rated PvP, and so it's getting back to that, so I'm seeing here in the next 2 years, what I'm seeing is Blizzard go and say, we're going to try something. We're going to go back, and we're going to turn the clock back a little bit. We're going to bring back some of the things that our players that have been with us for a long time tell people that they have done, and what we have been missing. And yes, I know that those of us who have been playing since vanilla, can be an utter pain in the butt when it comes to nostalgia. Our world PvP, when, South Shore against Terran Mill, and, the 16-hour AVs, the coal, raiding, and, you walk up, you get into, the major cities, and you see, a person that is playing your class, and you see that person in this really cool looking armor, and it's like, wow, where did you get that? How did you get that? This is something that Blizzard is trying to bring back, not for the, oh my god, this is freaking great, and somebody going, yes, I am the best. No, what Blizzard is wanting to do is bring back, yes, this is freaking cool. However, that person goes that has that great armor can go and say to the person that hasn't done it yet, you can do it. Get into a guild that is raiding, or get into a guild that is doing PvP. So Blizzard is doing a really good thing, and I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm ranting, but I'm really excited about Legion. I'm more excited about Legion than I have with any of the X-Packs that have come out. Wrath was really good. I really liked Cataclysm. Mob was okay. I liked Warlords. It didn't leave me with a bad taste in my mouth. I liked what they did. However, what I'm really liking is everything that Blizzard is putting into this next X-Pack. I think they've done a really good job of demonstrating what they want and how they want it. Also, they've gone and said, okay, all you asshats, you about to get a come to Jesus moment. And I'll talk to them about that here in a moment. But enough of the Q&A. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry about the squirrel, but I had to get that off my chest. One of the big things that has happened this week is the story of Gold Dan was released today. You can find that on YouTube, on the Blizzard channel. You can also find it on MMO Champions. The WoW website, stuff like that. It's really good. Something that I didn't realize, and I thought I was a lore nut. And one of the things that I didn't realize is that never mind. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Go and check it out. And if you have any questions, or you go and say, "Oh, I now know what Dre's talking about," comment down below. Sad thing this week that was announced is Olivia Grace said goodbye to Blizzard. She officially left this week. I just want to say Olivia Grace is a really great lady. I've met the lady personally on Vote to Kick. We had her on a couple of times, and really nice lady. Whatever she does, I hope the best for her. And if she isn't getting into MMOs or being with a big company, if she's just going back into the public environment and doing podcasts and streaming or whatever, hope she does a podcast again, because she was really good, and I hate to see her leave Blizzard. However, sometimes it's time to make a change. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I want to get into two things really quick. Maybe this podcast will be not an hour long. I'm not promising anything, ladies and gentlemen. Loot drops. Two things that hit the airways and social media this week one of them was loot drops. You have your private loot and your master loot. Now, master loot pretty much is if 80% of your guild in a dungeon or in a group, the person that is part of the the person that's the leader of the group, 80% or higher of that group is the guild, you can put that on master looter. So the leader can go and say, okay, this is yours, you roll for this, yada yada yada. for if it is not at least 80% or higher. Master Looter is grayed out and it's personal loot only. Now there has been some whining and crying, and it's ridiculous. And again, ladies and gentlemen, this is just my opinion. It's ridiculous. We've got people who have made videos of, hey, let me teach you how to go and ninja loot from people. Doesn't matter if it's, in a raid, in a 5-man, or anything like that. Blizzard is going to said basically in this expansion, this BS is going to stop. And people who used to do this kind of stuff is whining and crying and making excuses for different things that they used to do. Well, hey, I was just doing it for fun, or I was teaching people, what to look out for. BS. You are being an asshat. And again, that's just my opinion. I like the personal, if it's not my guild, I like that personal loot. And the reason why I like it is I don't have to worry about somebody stealing or somebody going and saying, I think I'm going to take this from you. Your plate wearing, I'm I'm a leather worker. I mean, a leather person. I'm going to take it anyway. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with the whole ass hattery. I don't want to deal with it. I don't care about it. So again, kudos to Blizzard of stepping up and putting that into play. And again, if I sound like a WoW fanboy, I'm not a WoW fanboy. Anybody that has known me can tell you, when Blizzard does really good, I praise the hell out of them. When I think they've absolutely screwed something out, I am the first one to start screaming foul. However, here comes the next thing. The silencing has hit the social media yet again. Not going to mention any names, but somebody basically went out there, brought about 15, 20 people into their guild. They went and screamed out something in their garrison, and then had the 15 or 20 people that was in their garrison to report them for spam, for bad stuff that was going on, to see if Blizzard would go and silence him. Guess what? The person got silenced. They got upset that they got automatically silenced, and it was a 24-hour. They were, it was basically said, you've been silenced for 24 hours. If you were found again, somebody goes and complains about you again, it will be cumulative, meaning 24 hours, you get another violation, it's 48 hours. After that, and it doesn't add another 24, it goes, it doubles what you've already done. This person has gone and whined, cried, got on social media saying this is not fair, yada, yada, yada. Blizzard didn't tell us anything about this. I don't understand. And it's like, oh my God, really? Let me just say this. For those of you who do not know, Blizzard is going to silence you. I've talked about this. Ballark Games has talked about this. I think Preach has talked about this. I know the influencers of World of Warcraft have talked about this. MMO Champions, Wowhead. I mean, there has been huge coverage of this. So anybody who says, I didn't know about this, I'm sorry, you've been told. I mean, this many people have gone and put it out there. you need to keep up with the news. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna be, bombastic or anything like that. I'm just gonna say, you violate it, you're gonna get smacked. And and it's for this person who did this. It's a good dang thing that Blizzard didn't have somebody, because we do know from Blizzard themselves telling us, they'll go and check in on your character, see what you're doing, see if you're having any type of problem. Game masters may or may not have seen what this person was doing and went, "Oh, you're trying to test us. Okay, no problem." And here comes the violation reports. No problem. Bink, 24 hours. It's a good thing that this person didn't have. Going to use my father as an example. Didn't have my father as a person watching him going, "Oh, yeah, you're going to test it. Here's the consequences. You've been silenced for a week or 2 weeks." That was my father. I mean, if you tested it, and depending on the mood that he was in, you would get punished for that. So, again, I want to get away from this. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know about the silencing, if you don't know about the loot system, the new loot system, what they're calling Loot 2.0, check out MMO Champions, check out Wowhead, check out the forums. Make sure that you have, World of Warcraft, Blizzard, all of that on Facebook, on Twitter, because you'll see it. I mean, you'll constantly see it, and there's a bunch of people that are... Anyway, but the last thing I want to talk about today is this, ladies and gentlemen. Blizzard and the FBI... this week it was reported that Blizzard was getting threats from somebody, and they were getting really nasty about it. I'm not really going to get really big into it. However, the FBI, it got so bad that Blizzard called in the FBI, called into the authorities. The authorities went, "Excuse me, this is an FBI thing." They found the gentleman who had made all of these threats and different things like that. This person is looking at $250,000 fine and 4 years in jail, and it could also be cumulative. Basically, how many times that he had threatened Blizzard and the different types of threats that he had had. Now, one of the things that had gotten out there, and I don't know if this is true or not, and I don't really want to speculate it. This person could have been off their meds or whatever. You do something that is wrong, you're gonna pay the consequences. This is the first time that I've ever heard of Blizzard going and saying, "Okay, enough is freaking enough," and calling in the authorities. I mean, for those of you who have been around for quite some time, the reason why I started Hug a Dev, in Cataclysm, Ghostcrawler was threatened on Twitter. I mean, ugly threatened. I mean, bodily harm to not only himself, but also his family. I mean, his wife, his kids, and it was ridiculous. So, again, I gotta say to Blizzard, kudos for stepping up, and not only protecting your company, but also protecting your people. I mean, especially in this day and age, we've got to look out for each other. We've got to watch each other's back, and we've got to go and say to people, enough is a freaking enough. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you very much for coming out. And with that said, I hope everybody had a good time. I'm sorry about the rambling. There's been a lot of different stuff that has come out, a lot of different things that I've gone, really? And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you very much for coming out, listening to me. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed making this content for you. Here now, this is episode 14. I'm going to be making another not a podcast, but I want to make a shout out because I want to talk to you, ladies and gentlemen, about me going into Patreon and getting more set into what I'm wanting to do, what I want to do with my stream, my YouTube, and I want to bring you guys along with me. So with that, I want to say again, everybody have a great weekend. Have a great week. Be kind to one another. Remember, play nice, play fair. Emmy, cue up the music, sweetheart. We are out of here. Everybody, again, thank you. Let's get out of here.